Parks and Recreation Yes, Tuesday, August 8th.
My name is Walt Bronzic. Some of you may know me as the voice of the Massillon Tigers. But today, I'm here as an interested citizen of Massillon. And we're speaking with Bob Straughn. And Bob is the Superintendent of Massillon Park System. Bob, welcome.
Thank you, Walt.
Bob, I've known you for a long time. We're both residents of Massillon. We both have families. Can you tell us a little bit about, I feel many of the people out there have questions about the proposed park system that are on their minds, and I thought we might have an opportunity to discuss some of those today.
Be more than happy to.
Could you tell us a little bit about the background of the Massillon Park System?
Well, the Massillon Park System was basically started back in 1893. And our recreation department was formed in 1924. Those two elements are really a big part of this master plan, and it brought us up to where we are in the present day. But really, what got us to the point where we are now with the master plan was the exposed needs of our youth sports activities. And we have a situation in town that a year and a half ago, a group of individuals got together from Little League, Girls ASA, the Massillon soccer program. We also had a situation with even right to the high school baseball team. And it was a historic meeting. There were groups there, men's softball. It was really a historic meeting. It got all these groups together for the first time, and I think in the history of the town.
It seems to be pretty all-inclusive, which is what you would want in something like this, I think.
Yeah, it really was. We brought everybody together and we put them on the same page and said, okay, what is everybody's needs here? What do you need for field areas to make this work? And that really exposed the need in the community for what we needed. You know, we've had a situation on 241 that cuts right through the Little League fields,
right,
which really was a big factor in exposing the needs. But we've also got Girls ASA softball program who had to cut off enrollment. We actually had to tell young girls in our community, you can't play in an organized softball program because, sorry, but we don't have the fields to offer you to play on.
So due to lack of facilities, we've actually had some of our own kids going elsewhere in order to play.
Absolutely. We even have 280 kids from the City of Massillon, 280 children from the City of Massillon that go to Jackson and Northwest to play in their soccer leagues because we don't even have a soccer field or soccer area large enough for them to play on.
I'll bet there aren't many people who know that.
No, it's been an interesting fact that we've been sharing with people.
All right, Bob, let's get into some of the questions that I feel that probably are on the minds of Massillon voters.
Well, let's do that, but I'll tell you what. Let me lay out in front of you, first of all, what the major portions of this master plan are.
All right, good.
Okay?
Go ahead.
To start off with, we looked at a Parks and Recreation Department that really ran autonomous from each other. The Parks Department's always been under the city umbrella, and the Recreation Department's really run autonomous for years. So what we did is the first recommendation from the master planner, Leisure Group out of Akron, was to combine the Parks and Recreation Department into one department. The second part of the plan was to identify what property did we own inside the city of Massillon that we could put ball fields on to accommodate these youth sports programs. Sure. Well, we inventoried all the property that the city owned, not just park areas, but also school areas. You know, we're all taxpayers, Walt, and we've all bought and paid for these areas.
Right.
So we wanted to make sure that we inventoried everything we had before we even recommended going to buy more property to build these fields on.
So you've looked, Bob, at existing parks as well for a possible site for this.
Most definitely, and some of those park areas are going to be renovated and updated, and ball fields are going to be put into those areas. But through the process and inventorying and information gathering, we found out that although Massillon is blessed with 255 acres of parkland and 27 individual parks, they're all parks for a reason, because the majority of our parks have been donated to the city of Massillon. Matter of fact, there's only one park the city actually has purchased with general fund money, and that park is Lincoln Park. Lincoln Park sits on the side of a hill if you've ever been there,
yes,
like most of our parkland does. So it's really not can't be easily developed into a sports area. So through the process, we identified, or a land search committee identified the ranked farm site. Now, the ranked farm site basically lend itself well to, we could put in 13 different ball fields, which will accommodate the Little League and Girls SA. We also put 2 400-foot fields in, which are going to accommodate programs right up through the high school, who's in need of field areas now. But we also put in 4 soccer/football fields, which will be used for our youth soccer programs and our youth football programs. You'll also notice in this park site we put a municipal swimming pool right here.
Right.
You know, we held 6 ward meetings throughout the community, Walt, and it was really interesting. Every meeting that we had, there was always a recommendation for a municipal swimming pool. So that was built into the plan.
It does sound as though you've got something for everyone. I mean, you've got soccer, you've got swimming, you've got football included in there.
We really do, and you know, we've done our homework on the plan, and this plan is truly from the people for the people. Like I said, these ward meetings really are where the ideas generated from that you see here today. And you know, the Community Park and Sports Center is going to be an area that you can take the family and spend the day at. But that was the second part of the plan. The third part of the plan we looked at was to build a community recreation center. Okay? The community recreation center is really exciting. This community recreation center will be built in the downtown area.
Now, is that apart from, separate from what you had just talked about?
Yes, this is totally separate.
Okay.
You know, that's been an issue that's maybe confused some people. The recreation center is an indoor facility.
Okay.
It's going to be built in the downtown business district. Matter of fact, the most favorable site right now that we're hearing back from the community is to build it adjacent to where the proposed theme park is going to go.
Mm-hmm.
And which, by the way, the proposed theme park is a whole separate issue from our park and recreation plan.
Okay.
But the rec center would be built in the downtown area. The community sports park, which we alluded to earlier, would be built down the ranked farm site. Another area of the plan that we looked at was updating all the existing park areas. You know, as you know, and you've got children, you use the parks on a daily basis.
That's right.
I mean, you go down there, and we really only have one park, a reservoir park, that has any really new playground equipment. Now, in the past month, we have also put in some new playground equipment up at Shriver Park, but we're really needing renovation of all the park areas, and that was a very large part of the plan. Another part of the master plan was a resolution with the school board for joint use of facilities. You know, Walt, you and I are both taxpayers, and we've bought and paid our taxes to purchase these schools, and we said, you know, we need a resolution of joint use of facilities that if we want to program some recreational opportunities, we should have access to get into these schools to do it. And the facilities are there. Let's take advantage of them.
Bob, a moment ago you said that this project is completely separate from the theme park, and I just want to get that point straight. Does your idea have anything to do with the theme park?
Well, the proposed master plan for Parks and Recreation has nothing to do with the proposed theme.
Not go.